And good morning. Good Saturday morning. You know what I did this morning?
What you did this morning?
Yeah, you know.
Got up, got dressed, went out. I don't know.
Well, I looked out this morning, and the sun was gone. So I turned on some music to start my day. You like that?
Yeah, Boston.
And that's
how about this?
Basically what I do every day, except the sun is not always gone, thank goodness.
Yep.
But it was this morning, and still is for
Uh-huh.
most of the day today, I think.
It wasn't your lyrics, was it?
That was one, but just not the.
Not the one.
If they couldn't get that one, we need to quit playing. Yeah. I thought about this too. It's my favorite band growing up, and I wondered what you two guys' favorite bands and Lanny's and all our listeners. What's your favorite band growing up? And when I say growing up, I mean in your teen years when you started driving. And, you know, I can always remember the first 8-track. Now Brett won't remember his first 8-track. But I can remember the first 8-track, and it was a mixture of songs, but the highlight song on there was Night Moves.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So
I thought 8-tracks were the greatest development ever in music, in history of music.
Were they not? You know,
seemed like it at that time.
Yeah. What's funny about 8-track, you could switch tracks, but there might be 3 songs, and you couldn't go directly to the song.
You couldn't go directly to the song.
Yeah.
Had to wait till that track.
And then cassettes came, and you could run forward. If you were lucky enough, you might hit where it should start.
Maybe, yeah.
And then finally CDs came along, and you could do
boom,
just
boom.
about whatever.
About anything. Move back and forth.
Single them out.
Remember when cassettes got that sensor that could pick up a blank spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was, it took a while though.
Yeah.
But about the time they were extinct, that had to be the shortest lived, didn't it? Was cassettes, because 8
Yeah, they had
about a long time.
About a 4-year run, 5, something like that. I remember them in the mid-'70s, for sure.
Remember a guy, I doubt this guy's a loyal listener, but a guy named Tim Perkins, and Tim Perkins was the first person I knew had a cassette player in his, built in his car, in his Camaro, and listened to a lot of songs in there.
Yeah, the great thing is you get the dual. That one was one part of it was the player, and then you could record in
a car
on cassettes. Not in a car.
Okay.
No, but
okay. Yeah. I remember recording a lot of music.
Oh yeah, me too.
On a cassette, so I could play my own when I did get in the car. NCAA tournament. Is it March Madness maxed out? Is it? What do you think? Is this the new tournament where, I don't even know, and I'm scared to take a guess, but how many teams won in the 32 games would you say? And I'm not going to go with the playing games, but in the 32 games, the round of 32, that were lower seeded. Do you know? You have any idea? Have you heard anybody say or anything, or what the number might be?
I haven't heard, but
I wouldn't think it's 50%. That would be outstanding, but I would think I could see 35.
I think
or maybe even 40. That the lower seeds, we see them all the time, but you hardly ever see the 16 beating the 1 or the 15 beating the 2.
Those are rare.
Did any 2s go down?
No. I don't think.
How many times
it's like 11. 11 out of 32.
11 out of 32 were lower seeds.
But that's counting a few 9s over 8s.
Yeah, so you count those. Yeah, well, you can.
You have to. They're seeded higher.
Yeah.
Would your bracket have been better had you just picked all higher seeds? Because it'd be
about the same.
Yeah.
What would that number be? Help me real quick. Brett, that's 32 games, so 21 and 11.
Yeah, and in my 2 brackets, I've got 21 and 20.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Yep.
And you didn't pick all higher seeds, obviously. You jumped around. Who was the worst seeded team that you picked to win a game? The lowest seeded team.
Probably a couple 12s.
Okay.
I picked James Madison to beat Wisconsin.
I did too. And they did, didn't they?
Yeah.
I haven't even
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I slept through that one. I did get a message from Mike overnight that said, don't want to play James Madison.
No, I don't, because
Well, the thing that surprised me, though, Mike, about James Madison was it's helter-skelter, kind of. They get up and down the court, seems like 500 times, but percentage of possessions that they score is not very high. Do you think? They have a lot of
Probably not.
possessions because
Yeah.
they don't keep the ball long. They shoot it quick. And what I saw, and I didn't see anything but the first half, but
I'm worried about their defense. It's just
well,
suffocating.
could be. But I just thought, they're getting the ball a lot of times, but they're not making a lot of shots. I mean, it's taking them a lot of shots to
They had 14 steals.
14 steals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a lot. I mean, I don't know
They
what,
haven't
what
lost
average
in
is.
like forever. I don't know what their
Yeah,
winning streak
whatever in
currently
three.
is.
You know, they lost 3 games this year, and 2 of them were to App State.
Really?
Mhm.
Yep.
And then they beat App in the. Or,
No, they
or App
didn't play them
make it.
again.
App didn't
Didn't
make
play
it
them
to the
again.
finals.
No.
Right?
They got beat first round in NIT.
They were 0-2 against App.
Yeah, but I mean, what did App do in the conference tournament? That's what I'm
Yeah,
wondering.
they had,
Where
which
did
they had to win.
Where did they
apparently, to
fall
get
out?
in.
Yeah, where did they fall out in that conference tournament?
Second round to
Second
Arkansas
round.
State.
Arkansas State. Okay, that's the Red Wolves.
I really thought at one point App might get a bid at large, but no, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't understand. What do you have to do in a conference like that? Because
You have to win the conference and
the problem is in football, you can do that.
Yeah.
In basketball, you're going to add about 8 conferences. As
You know,
compared to football.
App was 27-6.
Mhm.
They won their regular season, and they had a win over Auburn.
Yeah, big win. That was
So
Wow.
yeah, I
quad
mean,
one.
had a
for
pretty good
sure.
resume.
and they weren't even talked about as being
Okay.
first 4 out, next 4 out.
So you named a good win, and actually they had 3 for sure because they beat James Madison twice.
Yeah.
So who was? It's got to be because of bad losses.
Oh, they lost to Northern Illinois, Oregon State,
Not bad.
UNC Asheville, Troy, Texas State, Arkansas State.
And I don't even remember them being mentioned on the NCAA shows as first 4 out.
And that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about them.
First 8 out. I don't know where they ranked, how close they were, but yeah. There again, it's not the big time conferences, the conferences that are going to get so many teams in. Do you ever remember a conference looking as bad? The SEC picked up 2 wins late last night, and if they hadn't, boy, that was going to.
Because where were they? 0 for 4, 0 for 5.
Well, they had 1 win in Tennessee.
That's right. They
But
got
they
one
were
in
1 and 5.
Yeah. Then Texas A&M won.
Yeah,
And
another
Alabama
one.
won.
And Alabama.
So 3 and 4, 3 and 5.
Yeah,
They had
can't take a
18.
loss away.
Yeah.
3 and 5. Is that right, Brett? They get 8 teams in.
Still not.
Did they have 8
That's
teams in?
mediocre at best.
Yeah, at least 8.
Yep.
They had, Auburn and Florida both lost yesterday.
In very close games.
And then, they were
Very close
They were
game.
1 and 3 on Thursday, 2 and 2 yesterday.
Florida scores 100 and loses. I wonder how far you have to go back in the NCAA tournament to find that.
Does that ever happen?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, the Leitner shot game, both teams had 100,
Overtime.
but it was overtime.
Yeah, it was overtime.
Yep. I didn't even remember that. What was the score of that?
It was like 104, 102, or 102 or what? They won by 1, right? 102,
Yeah,
101 or something. I don't
104,
know.
103. Yeah.
I go back to the 70s when the Maryland and NC State played ACC championship, and I think both of those guys
Yeah.
had over 100.
They did, yeah. And what is often called at that time the greatest college game ever played.
Yeah, 103, 102 was that Duke Kentucky game.
But even them,
No,
Mike,
104, 103. Sorry. But 11-10 in overtime. So it finished 93-93.
Yeah, I
regulation.
remember 93-93. Wow, what a game.
I can't remember. I knew it went to overtime, but that's all. I can't remember if somebody had a chance to. Obviously, somebody had a chance to win it in regulation, but I can't remember what happened
Yeah.
or anything there.
But that NC State Maryland game, and was that 74? After that, that's when they started thinking about expanding the tournament. Up until that time, only the conference tournament champion would advance to the NCAA field of, what was it, 24 at the time?
I think it was
right.
24.
Yeah, 24.
So all right. When State and Maryland played in that classic, did you say they both did or did not get in?
No, only State got
Only
in
State.
because they
and as
beat
good as
Maryland.
Maryland was, maybe national championship
They were.
caliber.
Yeah, Tom McMillan,
Yeah.
John Lucas. You just go down the line.
Did they beat State that year?
Don't remember.
So they played 3 times, right? That wasn't an undefeated year for State, was it? But was it a year State only lost to? And who thought, number one, who thought we'd be talking about NC State today, still playing?
Oh, no. I missed that one, too.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of thought.
I missed it last Saturday.
Yeah, I thought that 5-day run, and they just wouldn't have it going
Right,
into the
you
tournament.
lose a lot of momentum because
Well,
you play 5
now they
straight days.
get Oakland today.
Yeah.
So they got a chance.
The Raiders.
They're
Yeah,
favored.
Raiders.
I don't know if Oakland can carry that momentum from 2 nights ago.
What's the
I
kid's
mean,
name that hit the 10 threes?
I think
Goki?
Goki. I think
Goki.
State's just going to play better defense than Kentucky did. I don't.
Kentucky's defense wasn't there all year.
No.
All year.
No.
Today, are you buying out Calipari's contract, $33 million, to see him walk away?
Kentucky can do it.
Oh, yeah, they can do it. But
I don't know.
you know what?
You got to have a plan,
Yeah, who are you getting?
and you
Yeah.
better know that next guy's going to be great,
Who are you getting
or you just
that's going to be better?
made a bad move.
Who are you getting that's going to be
Yeah.
better? I kind of felt sorry for him. I mean, he's just going through, On one side, I feel sorry for him. On the other side, the Kentucky fans, I mean, some of the comments I saw, was, the University of Kentucky don't care about how much money your players make in the NBA.
Yeah.
well, that's
and,
true.
and they don't. They care
don't.
about Kentucky
Well, it's
reaching
like
Final
that's his
Fours and
big
winning.
claim is how many players
Yeah.
he's put in the NBA. But
And how good
those
they
guys are going to the NBA whether they go to Kentucky or not.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
But the real truth of it is, it only happened once for him in 2012 when he took a mostly freshman-dominated team to the championship, but it really hadn't worked since. I mean, he's got to the Final Four a couple times since.
I can think of another team that's only worked one time for him.
Well, that's right, Duke University.
And you could say it worked for them twice because 2 years ago they made the Final Four. If you get to a Final Four, it's working.
It's working.
But-
Yeah, if you get that far,
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, he's been to 4 Final Fours with Kentucky,
yeah.
but none
out of how many years? I don't know how many years he's been there now.
since 2009.
And who did he follow? That's been a long
Was
time.
it Tubby Smith or was there somebody
Was
in
it?
between?
I don't
Tubby
know.
Smith.
Yeah.
Because they ran him off, and he ended up in Minnesota, as I recall.
I thought Tubby was doing a pretty good job at Kentucky.
Well, he won a national championship.
What were those twins he had back in the day that were?
Mm-hmm.
What didn't they play for Tubby? The twin.
They were
guards.
Harrison twins,
Oh, they were really good.
Aaron and they played for Calipari.
Did they?
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
were about 8 years ago.
Okay.
Well, that's when
If
they
that's who you're thinking
Probably,
about,
it may be. It may be.
Well, yeah, and they lost to.
Didn't win a national
Yeah,
title.
they were undefeated. Then
Oh,
they
right.
lost to Wisconsin in the Final Four. Then Duke beat
That's it. That's
Wisconsin.
Okay.
2015.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they did not play for Tubby. They played for Calipari.
Trying to remember who was on Tubby's team that won the title.
That's That's too far
Yeah.
back for me. Just trying to remember though, just trying to think of what I would do if I had the power to do whatever needs to be done at Kentucky. I'm just
Force him to go to the portal and stop signing so many freshmen.
I think you have to have a talk with him and
Yeah.
say, look, the older. Did you hear Jay Wright the other night? I sent you Jay Wright's
Yeah, but that's what's
comments
happening.
the other
Mhm.
night, and I said Jay Wright is on the money. He said these
These days are over.
yeah
Right.
yeah you getting the best freshmen in the country and beating older teams is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not going to beat older teams,
No.
especially on a regular
Because
basis.
you can't be
know,
consistent. You're
yeah,
not consistent.
it might happen once here, once there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Duke did win a national title. How many freshmen started on that team? 3 freshmen on that team.
And a senior and I want to say a junior. I'm not sure.
And is anybody else done it with, we talk about Kentucky's come close, but
I don't think so.
With 3 or more freshmen starting, I don't think so.
And Duke, Brett points this out all the time. Duke had a special point guard. He wasn't just, he was. You don't get those kind of point guards every day.
Yeah.
And
Tyus Jones.
And
that's right.
And that made a big difference because he did not play like a freshman.
No.
He looked like about halfway through the season, he looked like he was maybe a senior. But you have to, that's the kind of thing you have to have happen if you're going to win it with a very young team. And I just don't see it. I mean, you see these teams that just it's Oakland this time around. Who will it be next time? It's, and I'm not just picking on Kentucky because, it could happen to any of these teams like Duke. I mean, Duke's,
well,
actually right now Duke don't have as many freshmen starting as you would think, right? They got one in the starting lineup.
Let's see. Yes.
Would they have more than one if he was healthy?
Talking about Caleb Foster. I don't know.
Would he be a starter if he was healthy or no?
I don't think so.
Well, that was the big.
They kind of went back and forth on who was starting. He started some games.
He started like 7 or 8 games. Yeah.
They also were without a couple guys. Didn't Roach miss some time?
Yeah.
And
they had guys in and out of the lineup all season for injuries.
What if you do?
But he would play as many minutes as those other guards, even if he didn't start.
I think, he'd average 15, 20 minutes.
I think that the brass at Kentucky talk to Calipari and say, we've got to see a trend. We got to see it, and we got to see it within the next year or within the next 2 years that we are getting older as a team, and give him that option, and say, because if this continues, we have to part ways.
Kentucky Nation won't put up with it much longer.
And I honestly think John Shire has to do the same thing. I think he needs to get his team older because, your 19, 20-year-olds aren't winning a lot of games against 22, 23, and 24-year-olds.
Well, we thought we were trending that way because he brought back 3 sophomores who started last year as freshmen, and kind of seemed that was his mantra. But then this year he signed 6 or 7 freshmen for next year, so he's back to.
So what if you're Duke in Kentucky and you have 6 incoming freshmen next year that are 6 of the top 100, or whatever they're ranking? How do you start? How do you begin to get older if you've already got that coming in next year? Because you can't tell these kids no at this point. I mean, you got to let them come on in. Do you pull in a couple transfers to give you some?
I would say you have to. Run some off.
Depth, not just depth. These guys are going to want to come in and play.
Well, yeah.
Well, what's going to be interesting with Duke is who leaves.
Yeah.
Who leaves and opens up spots.
Yeah, and then they might be able to hit the portal.
Do they have a player that's NBA ready? Does Kentucky have a player that's NBA ready? Either one of them.
I don't think hardly any of them are ready, but
they think they are, and they wind up in the developmental league.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Duke's would have to be Filipowski would be the closest, just because of his size, and he is
the guy that didn't have a field goal last night.
Yeah, and only put up 1 field goal attempt.
It's funny though; he did play a pretty good all-around game.
Yeah, he did.
12 boards.
Yeah.
I think he had 4 assists and 4 blocks.
Yeah. Well, you gotta hand it to him from the standpoint he knew they were double teaming him every time he got the ball in the blocks or even on the up around the free throw line, and he was willing to sacrifice that to pass it to other guys.
Varner.
Willing
to sacrifice.
There you go.
If I hear some lyrics, I'm gonna yell them out today. Willing to sacrifice. You know what song that is, right? Cold as Ice.
Cold as Ice.
Who's going to take that job? Like Brett said, you better have a plan. Those fans bought into that one and done philosophy, so they knew what they were getting. This comes from Lenny. They've been that route before with Billy Gillespie, with the Billy Gillespie hiring.
Oh yeah, Billy Gillespie.
Well, I think one of the problems is
somebody
guys,
take the job. I can promise you that because they're going to pay you.
A lot of these guys sign with Duke or Kentucky, and when they do that, they think they're one and done players.
They automatically.
Therefore, they don't really
buy into team
They
concept.
don't buy into
Yeah.
team cohesion.
Yeah.
They don't buy into team chemistry.
I think Kentucky's do a little better. Just that's just my point of view than Dukes do.
Yeah.
As playing for each other. Because if you're not
I'm
playing
with
for
you.
each other on the court,
You're not going to win.
nope, you're not gonna win big games. Not
If
gonna
you
win
don't-
a lot,
Yeah.
and not gonna win the meaningful games.
Nope.
So,
I don't know. For me, I was really impressed by Grand Canyon last night. I stayed up late and watched them play St. Mary's. They look really good.
that
Athletic,
was a-
block
that
shots.
was a 12 beating a 5.
Yeah,
Is that right?
that's right.
Yeah.
One of the
that's,
bigger upsets of the
Is it
first
Bryce
two
Drew that coaches them?
yeah, Bryce Drew, brother of Scott Drew, of Baylor fame.
Coaches, which team?
Grand
Grand
Canyon.
Canyon.
Really. So who is the?
And the school's not even close to Grand Canyon. It's like 300 miles to the south.
Well, you can still see it.
Even the coach has never been to the Grand Canyon. Bryce Drew.
Now you made me lose my train of thought. I was going
Mm-hmm.
to say something about the St. Mary's. I wanted to ask you a question. Is this the St. Mary's
Yeah.
that's famous that
Yeah.
we're used to?
Yeah, the Gales.
Okay.
It
'Cause
won
there
the
seems to be
Western-
about 10 St. Mary's.
Well, there's Mount
In the
Mount
United-
St. Mary's.
Yeah.
And then there's St. Mary's.
Oh, well.
Mount St. Mary's had that duo, one of whom collapsed on the court and died. I can't think of his name. Bo Kimball.
Bo Kimball.
Bo Kimball.
Okay. Is that who that was? I thought that
Mhm.
was.
Mount St. Mary's.
And what was the other really good player on that team?
Yeah, what was his name?
There was another one.
Yeah, there were
that
two of them.
Maybe both made the NBA.
Paul Westphal was the coach. At the
Okay, I
time.
thought you were going to tell me he was playing on that team. I was going to say, I'm not that old. He was not playing on that
Yeah.
team.
That was a tragic situation.
Did Westfall go there? Is that his background? Is that why he was the head coach?
I don't know. He
Not that you're always the head
he
coach.
coached
of
in the
your alma
NBA.
mater,
He
but-
coached in the NBA too.
Yeah.
Did Westfall, but
Yes, Richard. Richard says Robert Dillingham, Kentucky, is a top 10 project. He's originally from Hickory. Yes, and he went to Combine Academy.
He did go to
right,
Combine?
right there in
Okay.
Lincoln.
okay.
Loyola Marymount. Thank you. That's where those guys went.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah, Loyola Marymount.
I
I
apologize.
said that didn't sound right.
And
Yeah.
Don Rebel says Hank Gathers is the player.
Hank Gathers
who
is the
died.
one that died. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Bo
thank you.
Kimball's the one that.
I don't know why I was thinking Mount St. Mary's. Yeah, Loyola Marymount.
I've driven
Loyola
right by
Marymount.
Loyola Marymount.
Yeah, Gather and Bo Kimball was the other part
Yes,
of that.
yes, he was his best friend,
Yeah,
and
that's
yeah,
right.
did things to honor him afterwards
Mm-hmm.
on the court. Shot free throws
I
left.
know. I think I'm right about Paul Westfall being the coach of
I'm not-
Loyola Marymount.
I can't argue that either way.
Yeah.
That's a
I got everything else
Lenny
wrong.
/ Rodney question.
I'll tell you, yeah. How
Right
about
there.
Yale? I mean, you got to give them their props.
Yep.
Bring down Auburn, a 4 seed.
Um,
Ivy Madness.
Ivy Madness. I saw that. And I
Yeah.
thought, let's see. Lenny and Richard both verifying that's Loyola Marymount. Two players, Hank Gathers, Bo Kimball.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny does say, no, Lenny, I'm not putting your correction. He says the coach was Paul Wethead. Then he corrected to Westhead.
Yeah.
So I like Wethead better. That's a little better. Duke wins last night, 64-47 over Vermont. The Hatters of Stetson fall to UConn, 91-52. I thought UConn come out and made a statement pretty quick. Weren't they up like 30-8?
Yeah.
I think I looked at the scoreboard one time. It was 30-8.
17-2. Yeah, they made a quick
Yep.
statement.
And speaking of the scoreboard, this has gone on now for 10, 12 years that CBS and affiliates have the tournament, but they do a terrific job
Mhm.
covering these. They got two different, what do you call it, back in the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right there.
Would you rather watch Barkley and crew, or would you rather watch?
Yes.
That's as far as I need to go, right?
I would always rather watch
Yeah.
Barkley.
Yep, Barkley is
True.
is so good. I mean, he's just good TV. Even in an Auburn loss yesterday, that he had to sit there and
He's unfiltered, but he's funny. Yeah, he's always good entertainment.
missing Greg Gumbel, and I don't
Oh,
know what
yeah.
his health issues
Me
are.
neither.
or anything like that. But man, 77. He don't look any 77, does he?
Who's that?
Greg Gumbel.
I know.
No.
I mean, that's when they put his age, told his age the other
Yeah.
night, and that he's going through. They said family health.
Oh, really?
That's what it said. Family health
not
matters.
personal.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's him, and he wanted it worded that way. I don't know.
Could be.
But man, just to see him and what he does, and to hear his opinions and things like that, and just a great host, and to be 77. I mean, I just thought, man, he could. He like Mike Powell, he could pass for 57, right?
Mhm. Who else is on that panel? Kenny.
Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith.
Yep, I love to see him and Barkley get into it
Yeah.
with each other. It's always fun.
Yeah.
And which one is the guy from Ohio State? Is he on that one, or is he on the
He's
other
on
one?
that one.
Yeah.
Clark Kellogg.
He's on the
is
other
that
one, isn't he? Or not? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
he's on there with Barkley. And,
Okay.
Smith.
Well, the other one was Jay Wright,
Yeah.
a host I've never
Candace
seen
Parker.
before in my
Candace
life.
Parker's one.
Candace Parker
Candace Parker.
and Seth Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know the host.
Did you see Seth Davis's dad's tweet
No.
yesterday? It was they showed it up there on the screen, and I don't know exactly what it said, but all I got to tell you is he's a Yale grad.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was something about Yale winning that first round matchup.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Over.
and Seth Davis went to Duke.
Well, he don't tweet though about, since he's an analyst and everything. He don't
Yeah,
tweet that.
no.
Congratulations, Duke, when they win. But this
No,
was,
I
this
just
was a
like
good
the
one.
way Yale approaches the game. They're not overly talented. I mean, they don't have racehorse athletes, but
They
just
shouldn't even been there. Did you watch their game last
yeah,
Sunday?
I know. Yeah,
They were down 6
Yeah,
with under a minute to go, weren't they?
and they hit a shot right there.
Yeah,
along
30
the
seconds
baseline.
left. They're down
Yeah.
6.
Hit a shot along the baseline, a little short floater to win it.
Well, I say they shouldn't be there. They were the better team,
Mm-hmm.
but they let a lead get away. Who was it that they were?
Brown. It was
Brown?
Brown. Yeah.
But they nearly let they probably tell you they should have lost that game. But
and had they lost it, they wouldn't have gotten the tournament. I doubt.
what's amazing is look what passing the ball a few times will get you. The final
Mhm.
shot they took was like from 4 feet away.
4 feet away.
It was a
yeah.
tough shot because that's a tough angle, shooting from the
Yeah.
side and not shooting.
Yeah.
And how many teams have people this day and time? I've often wondered this: if you went to a major college basketball practice, how many shots would they take inside the arc, but not in the paint?
Mm.
That's dead area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody plays there anymore.
No.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not in the paint where the big men take their
You're
shots.
talking about
And- but
12, 14.
A
Yeah.
mid-range.
Yes.
Mid-range.
Ha-
Yeah. The mid-range game doesn't exist.
I'd like to see. I wish somebody had the numbers on games this year and just see what percentage of shots were taken
Yeah.
In that
inside the arc, but outside the lane.
outside the lane, outside the paint.
What would you guess if there was 60 shots by a team in a game?
I'd say less than 20% in that mid-range. I don't know. It's just.
I think I'd
Out
go
of
way less
60,
than that.
yeah, I'd go like 8, maybe 8 shots.
Yeah.
Well, 20%.
Yeah. Oh, okay, let's use an example here. It's Golick or whatever his name. What Goki?
Go keep.
It ain't Bob or
Yeah, Mike.
Mike Golick, but it's Goki. The man took 20 shots. He didn't shoot a shot that wasn't behind the 3-point line.
Right.
He made 10 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't shoot a free throw, did he? I don't think he got. I don't think he
Yeah,
shot
he
it.
did. He got fouled shooting a 3 one time. He made 2 out of 3.
Okay.
That's how he had 32 instead of 30.
Instead
Okay.
of 30. Yeah.
Yep. Got to be on top of the math there to get that one. And how about his assist? That was very much publicized as well. How many assists do you think he had in that game?
0.
0.
Bingo.
Yep.
Not one.
What did you see his stats for the year? How many 2s he's taken?
Very few.
He's taken
Oh yeah, 7.
8.
Made 7 maybe or 8.
He's taken 8
Yeah.
out of around 350 shots. Only 8 were 2s.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ned says Interset says SEC is 2-5 so far. Well, so did we.
Yeah.
Well, they're 3 and 5.
Yeah, 3-5. That's right, 3-5 because it's Tennessee's a winner. Last night late, you had Alabama winning and you had Texas A&M winning.
winning.
So internet is wrong. Let's see, because they were 3-5. SEC Commissioner Greg Stanky looking bad for fussing earlier in the week about the conference tournament champs being automatic qualifiers.
Oh, come on. You can't take that away. I mean, I still like that in the tournament.
Honestly, I didn't
qualifier.
even know he had said that.
I didn't either.
I saw
Yeah, why have the tournament then?
Izzo
Why
said
have the
something
tournament?
about mid-majors not getting automatic berths.
Did he?
Yeah.
I saw some
I
of
don't
his
know what
interview
I
with
didn't,
Dan
I didn't
Patrick.
see any more
No, I
than
don't know
that,
if
so I
it-
don't know what his point was. But
That's what makes the tournament special. your mid-majors do get in there, and they have a chance. You think Grand Canyon's going to get in otherwise if they had to win their tournament? Probably.
Yeah, I don't know what you do unless you just start giving regular season champs
Mm-hmm.
the automatic berth, which I think is more deserved
Yeah.
if you win the regular season.
but
because
he's
it's the
just
long
saying
haul. Don't give
the
them one at
conference
all.
don't get one. Yeah. But that's all I saw was that headline. I don't know.
Well, then,
Well, maybe you should do it like
he
I think
meant.
football ought to be done, is split the best, 30 or whatever, best 32 college football programs and take the others and put them in a Division II championship, because they're never going to win. If it happens in college basketball, it would still be shocking.
mhm.
So, but even more shocking in football because it's not going to happen in football. They're not going to win 4 games against the Alabamas and Ohio States and teams like that.
But we've seen it happen a number of times in the Big Dance. Like last year, San Diego State and Florida Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had those two teams in their original Final Four picks. It's the beauty of the tournament, the unpredictability of it all.
It's the beauty of the tournament, but I, for one, don't want it. I want your powerhouse teams in that
Okay,
Final Four.
let's just put 10 teams from the Big
I mean,
Ten,
that's
10
just me.
teams from the
When it gets, it's
SEC.
fun to watch, and most of the time we see the Cinderellas win a game, but they very rarely make the Final Four. Last year, though, we had 2.
Yeah. Well, I realize they
I'm gonna
barely make
guess-
the Final Four, but that's.
As far as population goes and the percentage it watched it might have been lower than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
UConn, even the powerhouse they are, they don't have the fan base that a Kentucky, a Carolina, a
Mhm.
Duke, a Michigan State. They don't have that fan base that up
Yeah.
in Storrs, Connecticut that
But
your Blue Bloods
But
have.
2
Kansas.
years, 2 years ago, we did have all blue bloods mainly because Carolina played Duke and Kansas. That's 3 of the blue bloods.
Villanova
right there. And
was the other one.
Villanova. So there's
My kind of Final Four.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
we get the NFL playoffs. I don't want to see a Cinderella get to the Super Bowl and get beat by 30.
I'm with
And that
you.
was a great Final Four. I don't remember how the Kansas Villanova game went, but the Duke Carolina game was great,
Mhm.
and then the Kansas Carolina game was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
And
I'm like you.
last year the games were terrible.
I agree. I'm
Well,
hoping-
I think San Diego State and Florida Atlantic was a pretty good game.
Yeah, that came down to the last shot. But yeah, I want to see the blue bloods in the Final Four, but it's still fun.
And I don't even say
Mid-major.
they don't have to be blue bloods.
Yeah,
They just need to be
I don't
major.
even know what's considered.
Like Baylor. The year Baylor won it, they were awesome.
They were the
and they were
best.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're not a blue blood.
Yeah, they're not a blue blood, but they're not a school with 5,000 students either.
And I like when Gonzaga's good. And they go a long way.
I
Yeah.
do too. Yeah.
And they're not a blue blood.
Hey, they're
and
still alive.
they're not a Power 5 either.
They are still alive. Lenny,
If they could win a title or two, they could be
Yeah.
a blue blood.
That's right. They've knocked on the door. But,
we're going to go through these scores. We're going to talk a little bit about it. And let me go ahead and tell you this right quick, though. While we're talking about blue bloods, we saw blue bloods last Saturday,
oh yeah.
and they're going to be there a while because Reedsville and Farmville Central put on a show.
That's
And
one of the best high school games
Yep.
I've seen.
An overtime game that Reedsville won. Reedsville won the first. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. Reedsville won the first of their 3 consecutive state titles
Yeah.
in basketball last Saturday because their 2 best players are sophomores.
That's right.
They won their first
That's debatable.
back in December. Yeah,
I
in
think their
December.
best player might be a junior.
The one they brought in from
Johnny is Sharp.
is that the one that transferred in from Cummings?
Yeah.
Well, how about
Brett found out that this week that one that won MVP had transferred in from Cummings.
Now, is he the kid they're also tabbing as the quarterback next year?
Yeah.
Number 3.
Yeah. I was going to tell you, back in December, we saw, Brett and I saw Reidsville win the first of 3 consecutive football titles.
Yeah.
Because
all roads,
those guys are going to graduate with 6 rings.
Yeah. All
I'm
championships go
guessing.
through Reidsville.
Barring injury.
Yeah.
Barring injury.
And in football, it's kind of going to depend on how good that quarterback is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that if he's good enough to come in there and start.
Because Kendra Harrison, he can dominate a football game, but he's got to have somebody to get him the ball.
6'8", sophomore Kendra Harrison, that guy. A couple comments real quick here. Lenny says the coach was Paul Westhead at Loyola Marymount, not the late Paul Westfall.
Well, I struck out completely on that. I didn't get anything right.
Westfall played college ball at USC.
That's right.
And later was the coach at Grand Canyon.
Really?
That's what he says here.
Okay.
Westfall?
Later. Yeah. I hope. I may have read it
Didn't he
backwards.
coach the Phoenix Suns at one time, too?
I think so. Maybe
Played for him, didn't he?
Mm.
So maybe he did coach him as well.
And Westhead coached the Lakers
That's right.
for a little while.
Yeah.
Ned says
Until Pat Riley came along.
Ned drove a long way this morning. In the Tennessean newspaper,
Ooh.
heard discussion about it on Sports Talk. Guess the SEC really does want all the money.
Yeah, they want as much as they can possibly get. That's true.
I want all the money.
Yeah.
I'm never going to have it, but who doesn't
Want it.
want all the money? We're doing the lyrics a little different this morning. Mike and Brett have come up with one that they're going to give. I'll go first, though, just since we're up against the break here. Real quick, first lyrics of the morning. Give me a text or an email, kieverdavid@yahoo.com if you don't have my phone number. There's nothing wrong. Let me start that over. I left a word out. There is nothing that is wrong in wanting you to stay here with me. Back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Dr. John Klunger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner's mission is to earn their patients' respect and trust through the commitment and positivity, and offer the dental solutions in a professional environment to improve oral and overall health. The practice will be accepting new patients. Just call 704-735-0765 to schedule an immediate appointment. We can provide services like extractions, crowns, bridges, fillings, night guards, cleanings, and deep cleanings, sleep apnea appliances, partials, and dentures. We can also advise determine a treatment plan for dental implants. Dr. John Klunger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner, 904 Doncha Drive, Lincolnton. Call 704-735-0765 to schedule your appointment and experience the dental profession in a warm and no-pressure environment. I'm telling you, the apple didn't fall far.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
It's time to get ready for spring. Time to head to Full Throttle Power Sports and 95 Trailers. Test drive an ATV or side-by-side today. Full Throttle Power Sports carries CF Moto, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, and Slingshot. And check out the trailers with brand names like SureTrack, Iron Bull, and Triton. Stop by or give them a call at 704-833-1270. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. They deal in fun.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. The real estate market is ever changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincolnton. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
Welcome back. Let's see. Ned says I have nothing on the trivia. Also, welcome back, WLON 1050 AM.
Oh,
he says.
it's back.
Welcome back. Thank you, Ned.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Welcome back, Cotter. Who sang that theme song? Woo!
Welcome back. Don't
want to get you off
John
track.
Sebastian.
John Sebastian. Welcome back.
He used to be in
Rodney and Richard have the lyrics, have guessed the correct artist for the lyrics today. There's nothing wrong
I'll get it.
with wanting you to stay here with me.
Used to be.
Yeah. Classic rock. Talking about classic rock, I could give you some really good hints. Before I get into the scores here, the scoreboard from last night, and just talk a little bit about this. Lanny was wondering about Clemson. Lanny's giving me a sheet here. Said Clemson sponsored first men's basketball team in 1911. Because we were wondering, I couldn't remember. I knew they made Sweet 16, or I felt really solid about they made the Sweet 16, but not the Elite Eight. But
they did make the Elite Eight.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And Lanny or I, neither one could even remember it. And it says their best performance reaching the Elite Eight in that same year. I guess he's talking about 2018. Is that right? Let's see. Advancing to the Sweet 16 four times, 1980, 90, 97, and 18, with their best performance reaching the Elite Eight in that very same year. So I'm guessing that means.
Remember, they got to the Elite Eight in 2018?
I don't know.
Seems too soon.
Let's see. The Tigers have reached the NCAA tournament 14 times in the modern era. That's something we probably have to check.
I remember one time,
worded
was it the Elite Eight that Connecticut beat them on a corner shot on the baseline or something deep?
God, I remember that. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was in the 90s.
In 2018, they lost in the Sweet 16 to Kansas.
Right. But Connecticut beat them for a trip to go to the Final Four in the Elite Eight. I can't think of the Connecticut player's name who hit the last.
Yeah, this was before UConn became UConn.
Yeah, that's right.
Too. I mean, this is when they were, this was, I'm guessing, under the legendary Calhoun.
Yeah, John Calhoun.
Jim himself.
Jim Calhoun. Jim John, what's the difference?
You have to ask him. But Jimmy John.
Jimmy John.
But, what year did he win his first title? Calhoun.
Was it 99 when he beat Duke?
Yeah, I think
Was
so.
it?
Yep.
Amin? Is that when they had Amin?
El-Amin.
El-Amin at the point.
Never forget his name.
Yeah, that was a tough team. And all those UConn teams have been mentally tough, physically tough. I mean, that's just their brand of basketball, and that's continued.
Oh yeah,
that's continued with Hurley. They play that way.
Well, it also continued with Kevin Ollie.
What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. After winning the title, they just sort of.
Well, I think they made the right move.
Yes.
Well, obviously they did, but I just, I mean, Ollie won a title, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 3 or 4 years
but
later,
I don't think he would have had him this good.
No.
It seems like even when they won that one, they weren't a great team.
Well, wasn't that the one that had won 5 games in a row, kind of like State did this time to win the Big East?
I think that was still Calhoun.
Calhoun did that.
Still Calhoun.
Calhoun did that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that was with Kemba Walker.
Yeah, right.
The one they won after that was with Ollie, and that was they had another really good guard that kind of carried them.
Oh, I can see him.
And
I think I can see the guy you're talking about, but I can't place his name.
How about Okafor? When was he at UConn?
Well, they beat Duke in the title game, didn't they?
Semi-final.
Semi.
04.
04, yeah.
Or
Duke in the semis, yeah.
Yeah.
Before I get into the scores,
Ben Gordon and Emeka.
Couple comments here. Kentucky fans, this is Jason. Kentucky fans are all upset at Calipari, but he said the quiet part out loud years ago when he said his job is to get his players to achieve their dream of playing in the NBA. He constantly brags about the billions of dollars his players. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I mean, that's not what Kentucky fans want.
They don't want that anymore.
He constantly brags about them making their multi-million-dollar contracts, billions of dollars actually as a group. But yeah, I mean, number one priority if you're my head coach is not getting those guys to the NBA, but winning games.
Winning games, and getting deep into the tournament.
It was Shabazz Napier. That was the guard they had.
Yep, I remember him.
Kevin Ollie won his
Napier,
title.
Yep. Lenny says SEC had 8 bids, 3 teams left. The Great Mountain West, 6 bids, 2 left.
Pac-12's done well.
It might change in the next few days, but the week-old 5-bid ACC has 4 teams left.
Yeah.
And 3 Big East. The Big East is 3-0. And the 3 Big East teams went 3-0. So ACC, we've got North Carolina, Duke, Clemson, and
NC
State. Well, I still want to embed in my mind here for some reason.
Well, the ACC.
How many of them make Sweet 16?
Well, that's another story. I think Carolina will.
I wouldn't say 2.
You're just not going to say which 2?
Nope. Carolina, I'll say they'll be one of them.
Yeah.
They inspire the most confidence in me.
And I think State has a great chance because of matchup.
I do too. I really do.
State plays
Oakland.
Duke plays James Madison.
That game.
I don't like Duke's matchup.
I don't either.
Carolina plays Michigan State.
Yeah, but Duke is favored.
And that leaves.
Well, Duke's always.
Who's Virginia got? Oh, never mind. Let me think.
Clemson plays Baylor. I think that's a tough matchup.
Out of the 4, that's definitely the one I would least want to face. For sure.
But I'll be pulling for Clemson. I kind of like Brad Brownell. I mean, he coaches in a culture that's completely all about football, and his teams are usually competitive. I mean, he usually makes a tournament every other year.
And this is who? I'm sorry, I was reading.
Brad Brownell.
Brad Brownell. Is that what you want? Are you okay with that?
Well, I think at a place like Clemson, which is all about football.
Right.
I mean, I think it's, yeah.
Which school does the best combo and has? You can always look out for them in football and basketball. Is there one? And I'm talking about on a national level. I'm not talking about, well, we're going to go out there and we're going to go 8-4. That don't count. I'm talking about a national level. Which team is one that stands in your mind that?
Well, in recent years, some of these Alabama basketball teams have had high seeds in the tournament. I don't know that they've done as well as it's expected, but
let me see how many Final Fours has Alabama been to.
I know,
none.
Yeah.
Not that I know of, or at least not in the last 25 years or so.
A school that's okay. Both sports.
The only one even comes to my mind, and it's not there right now by no means, but is Michigan.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
yeah. What? How about the disaster of Juwan Howard's season? 9-23. He hadn't been the same since last year when he slapped that.
Was that just last year? Now, see, everything usually seems like it's more recent to me than it was, but that seems like that was 5 years ago.
I thought it was last
but
year. It might have been.
No, I'm with you. I mean, for some reason, I just, looked at it. It seems like it was further back. Maybe not. Ollie got forced out and was the fall guy due to investigations. That comes from Rodney.
Yeah, I think that's true. He did. He was the fall guy.
Lenny says, and the dismantled Pac-12 got 4 bids and is 4-0.
Hey, last hurrah for the Pac-12. They're not going down easy.
Oregon. I'm trying to name them. Y'all guys help me.
Arizona.
Colorado beat Florida last
night. Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, and
Washington State.
Washington State. How about that?
I'm pulling for them because, I mean, do they have a conference to go to? I mean, what are they going to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
They got a 2-team conference up in the upper northwest.
Yeah, Oregon State and Washington State.
Let's see. Ned says, I remember when Clemson had Skip Wise. Yes, I do too.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought they did a good job. We thought they'd get good, but he went to the ABA after his freshman season. I didn't realize he left after just 1 year. Tree Rollins back in the day is one of the guys.
One of the great names in basketball.
Yeah, Tree.
Larry Nance.
Yeah.
And who were those
You think
brothers?
it was named Tree, or was that a nickname?
The nickname. Who were those two brothers? Both of them around 6'10". I think they were twins. That played for Clemson.
Got me.
Somebody come up with that.
That's a Lanny.
Yeah.
Is he behind me?
No.
Oh, I can't think of who that might be. The twins. Let's see. Jason said Florida in the mid-2000s. That's a good one.
That's right.
Florida had it going on.
They had it going on.
Yeah, that is a good one because they were
back-to-back NCAA championships.
Yeah, and winning some football titles as well.
Tebow
But see, now they're not even in the picture on either one.
No.
You know? I mean, they're, which just puzzles me to death whenever. Lenny says 2 years ago is when he slapped Greg Gard.
Oh, 2 years, okay.
Knowing Greg Gard, I'm surprised he didn't slap him back. He's a Wisconsin coach right now, right?
Yep.
He's at Wisconsin. He just seems like the
Howard just said it.
The Grant twins. Is that who you're looking for?
The Grant twins. That's right.
Okay.
Horace
and thank you, Bonnie.
Horace Grant.
Horace Grant, and the other one started with an H as well, didn't it?
Was it Harvey? I don't know.
That might be it.
I think it might have been, but Harvey Gant was the mayor of Charlotte.
I know. That's where I think I'm getting confused. Harvey Gant or...
I think
Horace and Harvey sounds right.
It might have been Harvey.
They were running mates.
Yeah.
On the court.
Same platform.
Horace Grant and his brother with a question mark. That's what.
That's how most people know.
Yeah, that's how Ned sent. Here it is. Jason says Horace and Harvey.
It's Harvey.
Horace and Harvey, the twins at Clemson. Lenny says yes, Harvey. So, loving the input here. And I don't even know what led to all that. We're talking about which schools. My last question, and that was a great one by Jason there to say Florida back in, But right now, do we even have one? We don't even really have one, do we?
We don't have one. Right
what has happened to Ohio State basketball? Their football's top 5 every year, and their basketball used to be. Yeah. But I haven't even heard.
Thad Matta was there a long time.
And he did a good job.
They fired him.
But not good enough.
No.
Always be careful who you're going to get, right? That's what they say.
No, you don't hear. I don't know.
I'm going to read the scores. When I get to a certain score, I'm going to ask you a question, and it's the third one down. Duke beat Vermont 64-47. UConn over Stetson 91-52. And this is it here. Purdue beat Grambling last night 78-50. Give me a chance. What percentage chance does Purdue have in winning the national title?
Well, I know they've had their struggles, but I watched some clips of that game. I tell you, Zach Edey is focused. I mean, he
30 and 21 last night.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I heard that. Is that right? 30 and 21.
He's intense.
Wow,
And-
30
and
points, 21 boards.
He's the best player in the country, and he could get.
And I'm
to
gonna
the
tell you
Final
what,
Four.
a lot of the times he has to maneuver with somebody hanging on him, and maybe two people hanging on, and I mean hanging on him. If you watched the game last night, they were hanging on him as much as they could get by with.
He is just so big.
Yeah, he is. He is. I'd love to see Purdue win something.
I would too.
That's just one of those schools in
Me
the Big
too.
Ten that I have a lot of respect for.
Yeah.
I like some of their past coaches. They're good in football once every 10 years. When Drew Brees was there, they had a pretty nice run.
It'd be nice to see them.
Glenn Robinson, probably their most famous basketball player, at least in my lifetime that I remember. Right? Anybody else any better than that? Play for that. Play for Purdue.
Well, you go all the way back.
Not better than him.
Yeah.
You got to go all the way back to the 60s. They had a guy named Rick Mount, a guard who took them to the Final Four. They didn't win it.
Took them to the Final Four. Let's see a couple of comments here real quick. I think Harvey Grant, not Gant, transferred from Oklahoma to Clemson.
That's right, he did. He was on that Oklahoma team that got to the Final Four.
Yep. Yeah. Golly, Mike, you got all these Final Four teams. Houston defeated Longwood, wound up being Shortwood last night, 86-46. 40-point win for the Cougars last night. One of my Final Four teams, I think. I think my Final Four is all still alive. Hey, let's see. Marquette over Western Kentucky, 87-69. Baylor over Colgate, 92-67. Baylor has an opportunity to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, they do.
They're just a really good team.
They've got good guards again. I
don't even know their bracket, but if their shots are falling, they can play with anybody.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just a good team. Well coached. Well coached as well.
Well, if they beat Clemson, their next one would be the winner of NC State and Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same?
Pretty good bracket.
I'm going to write them in the Elite Eight.
Is that the same region?
Yeah.
I'm going to write them in the Elite Eight.
So they'd have to beat, most likely, North Carolina.
Are they in the West?
That'd be a good matchup.
Whatever Carolina's in.
Baylor's one of the teams that could match up with just about anybody.
I thought.
So Kentucky's not in. They weren't in that one.
No.
It's Arizona they'll have to beat after Clemson.
Aha! That would be a great game. That could
be.
be a really good game, and if it happens, if we get there and it happens, that would be really good. Ned says, "Do y'all know if Purdue still has the elevated court?" Remember, you could only see the bench players from the chest up. I know Vanderbilt used to have one of those too.
Had those.
And I don't know if they still do. I don't know.
Vanderbilt had the one where the team sat on baselines.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the floor though was this high. I mean, the floor is like this table high from the first row of bleachers. You know what I mean? So I don't know why you do that. Seems like that takes away the view for those first couple rows. Lenny says Horace stayed at Clemson and Harvey transferred out and eventually surfaced at Oklahoma.
Oh. So he went from
the other
Clemson to Oklahoma.
He was, it says here, he was the, maybe I read it wrong earlier. He was on that team that lost to Danny Manning in the 88 championship game with Oklahoma.
That's right.
Yeah, that was an all Big
Eight.
All Big 8 at that time. That is now the Big 12 and was at one time the Big 10 or whatever. It's had all kind of names with different numbers.
Yeah, Danny Manning.
Auburn falls to Yale. I was really pulling for Bruce Pearl. A very emotional guy. We talked about the story with him and the young man that had cancer that he just took in and made him honorary assistant
beautiful
coach.
Story.
Yep. So I was pulling for that guy, but just didn't get it done yesterday. 78-76. Alabama did get it done. Alabama gave up 96 points, but they scored 109. So the Tide rolls into round 2.
Who did Alabama beat?
Charleston. Thank you. I did not say that.
They made them cry 96 tears.
Yeah, well, I want to know, not a fan of that song. I hope that's not your lyrics today.
Oh, you got me. It was my lyrics.
Let's see. I'm just reading here. Alabama, 109. Charleston. College of Charleston, 96. 27-8, Charleston finished. Who's the head coach at College of Charleston now? Anybody? No, I do
Is
not.
College of Charleston the same thing as Charleston?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a Charleston.
Didn't their
Southern.
jerseys last night just say college?
Do they?
Look that up. I think their jerseys last night said college. I loved it. I mean, that's
college.
That is basic and as bland as you can get. College.
Yeah, more bland than Penn
You sure it
State
didn't say
football
Cougars?
jerseys.
Maybe it did. I mean, I was just trying to read
Pat Kelsey is their head coach.
Pat
In
Kelsey.
his third year. Came from Winthrop.
Yep.
Back to the scores here real quick. San Diego State 69-65 over UAB. James Madison over Wisconsin 72-61. Grand Canyon, is this their first time ever in the NCAA tournament?
I don't
remember
so.
calling that out.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
They hadn't won a game before in the NCAA until last night. Which team had just slopes on its front?
That's them.
That's
Grand
them.
Canyon.
For
Antelopes.
Is that short for antelopes? That's what
Yes.
I figured.
Or Davy Lopes. You remember him?
Well, yeah. Dodgers infielder. Yeah. Man.
And the Dodgers. What is wrong with the Dodgers, man? They're just a mere 500 team.
Oh,
We'll get into that
sorry.
later. New Mexico falls to Clemson. Clemson 77-56. Colorado 102. Florida 100.
That was the game.
It was entertaining. Northwestern defeats Florida Atlantic 77-65. Were you going to say something about that
I
one?
was going to say something about that Colorado game. The last shot that Colorado won on, I thought the Colorado player pushed off to get distance, then he hit the shot, but they didn't call anything.
Hey,
This is Grand Canyon's 13th appearance
Oh
in
my
the
gosh.
NCAA tournament.
No kidding.
And
What?
their 6th time reaching the round of 32.
Okay. They do have a history then.
Y'all be thinking, who's going to give the next lyrics? Because when I finish these scores, we're going right to it.
What, can you give yours?
Yes, I will.
Just tell what
I
it
will.
is?
I will.
I have no clue.
And you guys can text me with your answers on Mike's and Brett's, and I'm not going to look at my phone unless I just give up. But completing the scoreboard here, Northwestern, I think I said this one, 77-65 over Florida Atlantic. Texas A&M, gotta love Buzz Williams. He's just a ball of energy. Is a good way to describe him. 58 points in the first half.
Oh, no.
Did you see Charleston scored 62 in the second half?
62.
Against Alabama?
Alabama's defense, and just like Kentucky's.
Non-existent.
At Florida, look what they did. SECs, there's a trend there,
Yeah.
giving up a lot of points.
Yep.
A lot of points.
Well, at
And
least
guess
Alabama
what?
scored 109.
And guess what? Most of them aren't hanging around today.
If
right.
Kentucky would have scored 109, they'd have been all right.
You don't play defense in the NCAAs.
Yep. Texas A&M 98, Nebraska 83. Did I hear Nebraska's never won a tournament game? Never won NCAA tournament game?
Wouldn't
No.
be shocked.
That's true.
That is true. Yeah, I was one of them to win last night. They got a really good coach now. What's his name? Horberg. What is it? Fred. Is that not the coach at Nebraska now? Fred.
Horberg.
Didn't he coach in the NBA a while?
Yeah. And
What's
he
his name,
also
Brett?
won
I know the name. I didn't know he was.
Fred Holberg. Yeah.
I may be wrong about that. I
Nebraska's
thought he
coach.
was the Nebraska coach. Is he?
I think you're right.
Okay. Worries that Mike's the only one backing me up here.
That's
I have no
that's
idea.
kind of
Holberg or something.
shaky if I backed you up.
It is kind of shaky. Finishing out the scoreboard real quick, Utah State 88, TCU 72.
That's a team to watch.
Utah State. What's Utah? I know Utah's the Utes. Utah State is the.
Are the Aggies?
It might be.
Yeah,
There's a
Aggies.
lot of Aggies.
A lot
It
of
might be.
Aggies.
Hoiberg is the coach at Nebraska.
Yeah.
He coached.
That's pretty good. And
He coached the Bulls before that and Iowa State.
I knew
before
it was
that.
though. I knew he was.
and they
at
were
Iowa
on a pretty
State.
good run leading into this NCAA tournament, but they got the door slammed on them yesterday by A&M. A&M scoring 58 in that first half, and that's just something you basically
No.
cannot overcome. But I'm going to read a couple messages. First, I'm going to give you I only had 2 or 3 people get the lyrics that I gave. There is nothing that is wrong in wanting you to stay here with me. I know you've got somewhere to go, but won't you make yourself at home and stay with me? You guys ought to know that one. Jason says Grand Canyon has financial backing and support. of the Phoenix Suns owner and former USA basketball director Jerry Colangelo. Well, that doesn't hurt you any.
Oh, yeah, they showed him in the audience.
Didn't Dan Marley coach them for a while? Grand Canyon?
I don't know.
I think he did.
Lenny says that Minnesota still plays on the elevated floor, the Minnesota Gophers home court, and he says he thinks Vanderbilt still sits on the baseline, that they still sit on the baseline. Well, I wouldn't like that from a coach's point of view. That's for sure. All right, going to give you my lyrics, and then who's going to give me theirs?
I can.
All right, we'll let Brett go. Brett will go next, but first let's do mine real quick because only a couple people got this lyrics, and I thought it would be a little bit easier than it is. There's nothing that is wrong in wanting you to stay with me. I know you've got somewhere to go, but won't you make yourself at home and stay with me? And don't you ever leave. Lay down, Sally.
Oh.
Eric Clapton, the great Eric Clapton. I stumped you guys.
Yeah, one of his excursions into pop. That's right.
Yeah, his one of his classic hits.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Brett, what you got? And then we're going to go to break.
Well, okay, Brad, are you just classic rock?
Yes,
90s,
classic rock.
Grunge? Okay, classic rock.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. That's it.
Back in a moment.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
For where two or three have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. Matthew 18:20. You are invited to gather with us at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school meets at 10, and worship follows at 11 every Sunday. Follow us on Facebook for special service announcements. Join us Sunday at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com and like them on Facebook too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888 Meet Sparky.
Call Mr. Sparky today at 704-499-8119.
Since 2015, Zeus Auto Repair and Performance has proudly served the greater Lincolnton area. Jay, John, Tucker are there to meet all your automotive needs, including oil changes, brakes, suspension, car detailing, North Carolina state inspections, and much more. With 3 licensed state inspectors on site, you're sure to receive the quickest and best service in town. Stop by and see the boys of Zeus Auto Repair and Performance located at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincolnton, the old Rose Brothers service station, next to Randall's Grill for all your automotive needs. Open 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today at 704-240-3061. Zeus Auto Repair and Performance.
All right, welcome back. Go through that lyric one more time, Brett, because we have no responses. And he has given a couple hints. He said it's a male, and it was in 77, which is a hint. Yeah.
I can give you a couple more lines.
I think about Dream Weaver and that time period.
I said this guy has a lot of hits.
Yeah. Huh? Well, I'm just throwing some stuff out there, but
this guy had a lot of
I'm
hits.
just trying to think of solo guys.
Eddie Money.
In the
way
70s.
more hits than that.
Way more hits than Eddie Money?
Yeah.
What was his hits?
Well, he didn't say what his hits were.
No, I would give it away.
Neil Young.
Oh, here, I'm going to give you two more lines. Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? You need more?
No, I don't think I do. Not unless you're going to give the chorus.
Springsteen.
No.
I'm just guessing why.
Wow. I did look. I wasn't even thinking, but I looked. And if Mike and Lanny want to give up, I'll just tell you what
I give up.
Because this starts with, I thought it started with "Is it a?" But it is a is what Lenny says here. Tell me now that he's put this on there, he didn't get the song. He got the artist. Tell me the words again, because now that I know, if he's right, I want to see if I can guess. Because he says it's Billy Joel.
That's right.
Okay, it is Billy Joel.
Oh.
And Ned says Billy Joel with a question mark. Now you can tell me the lyrics again. I'm going to try to guess which song it is.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious.
These are the times we hang on to.
No.
Hold on to. No?
You're so ambitious for a juvenile, but then if you're so smart, tell me, why are you still so afraid? Where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day.
I'm a big Billy Joel fan, and the lyrics sound very familiar to me. But
It says, let me go back to Wikipedia about this song.
Mm-hmm.
It was released as a B-side to Just the Way You Are, but its popularity has grown considerably in the decades after its release. As of September of last year, it's the 4th most streamed Billy Joel song on Spotify.
Good Lord. His 4th most popular song.
They don't even say it's... Yeah, it does. His 4th most streamed song on Spotify, racking up more than 450 million streams just on Spotify.
Stranger?
No, but it was off the Stranger album.
Well, that's
and where I first heard it was I heard him perform it on Howard Stern. It's one of Howard Stern's favorite Billy Joel songs, and then that's what got me into it.
And that's where you first heard it.
No, it's not where I first heard it. That's just what got me.
Okay.
Liking it.
I'm also given the opportunity here now that you've given more of those hints and all this kind of stuff that we know what album it's from and some of the lyrics. Maybe somebody will get the song now. But good job, Lenny, being the only one.
Yeah, very good.
The only one that could come up with the artist.
Here, I'm going to give you the part leading into the chorus. But you know when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old, you're going to kick off before you even get halfway through. When will you realize blank? And it's just a one-word title. When will you realize blank?
Oh, yeah, I can hear
And then
that.
there's a couple more words after that.
Oh, Lord. I'm stumped.
Yep.
I feel like I should know it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be this challenging.
Ned says, still don't know without cheating, is what he said. So, yeah, somebody throw that song title out here. I want to know it without him having to tell us. Somebody should be able to get that Billy Joel song. I mean, he only has, 100 hits?
That's what I said. Y'all kept naming artists. I said way more hits than that
yes,
person.
you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, I mean, that was a good
one word.
Yeah, until you said Springsteen, I wouldn't say he's got way more hits than
No.
Springsteen. Probably pretty even.
Yeah. That is a.
I mean, I can give you
One-word
I can give you a
title.
bigger hint
One word title.
on just the title itself.
Okay.
It's a city.
Vienna.
Yep.
Should have got it a long time ago.
Yep.
Vienna waits for you.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Vienna. That is a good one. Hey, Mike's lyrics coming up here in about 20 minutes.
I'm going psychedelic 60s.
That's what I'm talking about.
Psychedelic 60s.
That's right.
All right, I'm going Hendrix. Oh, let's see here. I wanted to update you on what's going on
I'll go
today.
Yeah, never mind. We'll wait and hear him.
NCAA basketball. It's been a lot of fun to watch so far. Today, the first round games are good, but this is when the tournament.
I think these are the best 2 days.
Yeah.
These are the best 2 days.
Because there's a lot of games.
Right.
So many games.
But the matchups are better than the first round.
Absolutely.
The first weekend is the best.
Because the 1s and 2s should be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
At least some of them will be.
I think so.
Today and tomorrow.
And when you get to next week, you really just got, what is it, 16 games?
16 teams left.
8 games. Only
8
8 games on, what do they do?
You got 4, 2, 2.
Yeah. I love it because it means so much, but like you said,
to me, this is the best. There's 8 games today,
especially
8 tomorrow.
If you include quantity.
The only bad thing about today and tomorrow is the first couple games are on by themselves. So if they're blowouts, you got nothing to turn to.
Yeah, that was kind of bad last night for a while. There were 2 games on.
I don't think these first 2 days have been great.
Yeah, last night there were 2 games on, and both of them were 20-point spreads, and that was a good 45 minutes or an hour. That's all you could watch.
Yeah, I know.
Although
we had some great endings. There was 1 or 2 good endings.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about that 1 hour stretch though, where I remember back. It ain't been that many years ago, guys. Whenever they took a break, they would play an afternoon session. You'd have 2 hours from 5 to 7 o'clock with no games.
No games.
Glad they've done away with that. Glad they've done away. I love it. I love it just being constantly one game right after another.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 5 or 10 minute stretch yesterday where Auburn and Yale was winding down and Florida and Colorado was winding down. That was
the remote wouldn't work fast enough.
That was the best 10 minutes of the tournament so far. Yeah. That's what I've been leaving mine on. Four games, and then you can move around to which one you want to hear.
Well, here's the deal. Let me tell you the reason I don't do that. I have to wear my glasses if I do that. I hate to look at a 55-inch television and have to wear glasses, But if you split it into 4s, it cuts it down.
I didn't do that when Duke was on. I left it just on Duke the entire game.
Yeah. Well, I did too, but I would flip. Like when they went to commercial, man, I'm clicking. I want to see.
I didn't even do that.
What's going on these other games? I click every single time.
Well, with the YouTube TV, you don't have a previous channel button. That's what I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's the only bad part.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a little bit longer to go back and forth, and
they have no numbers.
no channel numbers to go to.
Yeah, that part of it is tough. You're not going to go to another channel quick.
No,
on YouTube.
That's why I've been leaving it on the 4.
I use my VC box.
If you want to pick one of those 4 games, you can click on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to go back, you just hit the return button, and it'll take you back to the screen of 4.
Oh, that's not bad.
And then you can pick
That's
a
not
different one
bad.
if you want to go to
Right.
a different one. So
yeah, that helps. Yep, I might put mine on the 4 today. I don't know if I will or not. Not as many games today. It all gets started at 12.
no, there
12:45.
won't be a time where there's 4 going on at once. I don't think.
Oh, this is the schedule, like you said, Brett. This is when it begins to suck a little bit. You got all these games, but they're all packed into night.
Mm-hmm.
CBS has the first 3 games, and you say, well, CBS has them all. Well, I mean CBS itself, Channel 3, has the first 3 games.
Yeah, in the first 2, there won't be anything else
That's right.
to turn to.
And I can't see Dayton and Arizona. Arizona's going to win by 10.
Yeah, that game doesn't have any possession.
You give me you guys' thoughts. I'm going to go Arizona by 10.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think Dayton can hang with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually thought Dayton was going to lose the first round to Nevada, and they really should have.
If you go by seedings, but I think Dayton don't give them a game. I still like Arizona.
Mike's give 4 opinions.
Dayton was down,
and we only got 1 game.
Dayton was down 17 with 10 minutes left, and came back and won.
Always a good program. Arizona, I don't know. They seem to look. I don't know, but Thursday they seem to look pretty good.
They are
in their game.
as talented as anybody.
Are they?
Yeah.
I just remember when they came into Duke early in the season in Cameron and beat the Blue Devils. That impressed me. And then
we have got 16 games to talk about, so we got to move on. Gonzaga and Kansas. This one, can Kansas survive Gonzaga?
Well, Kansas is
their
best player. He's not even in the tournament. He's hurt. I can't think of his name.
They had 2 out for a while. There were 2 of their
and
starters out.
Hunter Dickinson, the big center who transferred from Michigan, he's been dealing with injury issues. So I think it's an undermanned Kansas team.
I am pretty sure that on my bracket I picked Kansas to beat Gonzaga. I'm going with the Zags. After what I saw in the first round, I think the Zags are a better team. I think they got a raw deal. People talk about Gonzaga as not what they usually are, but over the last 4 weeks or so, they've been pretty good, right? I mean, don't they just have 5 losses on the season?
Yeah. Of course, St. Mary's did win that conference.
They beat them. They beat Gonzaga 2 out of 3 times.
2 out of 3 times.
And
so
Jason sends me something here, and I'm going to tell you this. In my opinion, this is just ridiculous. The Dayton, Arizona game is being played at 10:45 a.m. local time.
Yeah, that's not right.
That is starting at Salt Lake City
terrible.
at 10:45 a.m.
Why would they do that? And why would they not make that one of the late ones?
You got me. Lenny says, back to your song, Brett, he still wouldn't have got the title. But as soon as you said the city, I was pretty sure those words were not about Allentown.
Yeah, Allentown.
but
well, that starts out
Vienna.
We're living here, and
I like that song.
Starts out with the whistle that signifies the end of the workday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The factory.
Oh, you guys wouldn't know anything about that.
The factory life.
Yeah. Gonzaga, I'm going Zags. Did you guys just real quick?
I will too. I'll go with Gonzaga too.
Yeah, I think so. But
Hunter Dickinson, the big man you talked about, he had 19 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks.
Well, that doesn't sound
in
like
that
he's
game
hobbled.
for Kansas the other night.
Okay.
So, but they are missing McCullough. He's been their best player all year, and he's out for the whole tournament.
I'm going to go with the Zags, but Kansas is still Kansas. And Bill
Good
Self's a
Lord.
really good
I sure would
tournament
love to get
coach.
one word answers out of these guys so we can move on. We still got
I'm going
14
Gonzaga.
games.
Gonzaga. Going Gonzaga.
When did the tournament move from 11:30 at night? Do you remember when the only time you could watch the games was on replay at 11:30?
When did the tournament move from 11:30 at night?
More live. You
Yeah,
want to talk
they
about
probably didn't show anything till you got to the Final Four. Right?
No, that was Wolfpack playback on Saturday morning.
But that's where you could watch the tournament was 11:30.
You know, I remember watching some UCLA Maryland games when I was growing up. Long Beach State was featured some at 11:30 at night live on CBS.
Yeah.
You know, because
replayed at 11:30.
Yeah, that's weird.
I remember one time.
I remember that.
Staying up till 2 a.m. It was on like a work night to see UAB upset Ralph Sampson in Virginia. Got over about 2 a.m. I guess it was around 82, 83 when Sampson was at UVA.
Let's continue with our schedule here because only about 5 minutes till we take our final timeout. Michigan State, North Carolina.
Sparty.
Brett's going Sparty.
One word answer.
I'm going to tell you something. You know they've met 5 times in the NCAA tournament.
Carolina beat them all.
5-0.
All 5.
Make it 6.
6-0.
Yeah, make it 6.
I mean, Carolina, they're getting contributions off the bench from some of these guys, and their first 5. Nah, Carolina.
Well, here's my reason. I only got one reason. Michigan State's biggest weakness is in the paint.
Yeah.
There you have it. Carolina will score 60 in the paint.
Yep.
And that'll be enough. Washington State, Iowa State.
Cyclones
look like, I'm not saying they will. I'm getting ready to give them a kiss of death. They look like a Final Four
They
team.
do. They look like a Final Four
They look good.
team. Yeah.
They look good.
I thought that too.
Won the Big 12 tournament.
But I think it's tough on teams that win their conference tournament, especially in a big-time conference like that, to keep it up. I still think they're going to win today, though.
NC State taking on Oakland. A 14 versus an 11.
No, yeah.
Gotta love it, right?
Gotta love that.
Wolfpack.
Yeah.
I thought they'd run out of gas after their ACC run, but after watching them the other night, I mean, they're playing so well together.
If Goki hits 10 threes, who you picking? I'm just throwing that out
Well,
there.
no,
He's not going to hit 10
I think
he's going to hit 11.
5 today.
If they hold him to under 5 threes, I'm going State.
Okay. I'm going NC State as well. They just been on a roll.
Well, let me ask you this:
It's eventually got to end, but they're
does this pretty much cement another contract extension for?
He already got it.
You already got it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yes, it does.
It did.
I love this one. Duquesne.
Duquesne.
Duquesne taking on Illinois. I heard some people say Illinois, but it's Illinois. Duquesne taking on Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois look really good.
Yeah, so is Duquesne.
Yeah,
I like Illinois.
I like Illinois.
Yep. Illinois.
What's that guy's name they have?
I don't know. They're just one of these teams, though. They just
Terrence
never make it far in anything.
Well, that's true too. They don't have a great history. Had one Final Four,
they did.
right?
They lost to Carolina in the title game one year, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah, and they were really good.
They're pretty
that
good.
year. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duquesne and Illinois. I am going with the Illini.
Yep.
I think we all did. Oregon taking on Creighton. That's a 3. A Creighton is a 3.
I mean, think that's a good game.
They're moving up as a
I had
program.
Creighton in one of my brackets going to the Final
I do
Four.
too.
Yep. Well, I'm taking Creighton.
Me too.
Today.
I'm picking Creighton, but Oregon's
good.
They're playing great right now.
Yes, they are. And don't they have what's his name coaching?
Dana Hartman.
Yeah.
They won the Pac-12 tournament.
He's got a pretty good reputation throughout the years
Yeah.
as a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
North.
Did you see when Oregon beat South Carolina the other day? It was a transfer from South Carolina, scored 40 for Oregon.
Wow.
In that win over South Carolina.
Yeah. Pretty soon, everybody, when you get to the Sweet 16, every team's going to have a player on the other team that used to play for you.
Used to play for you, yeah.
That's going to.
Yeah, and I think
they're.
They do those matchups.
Oh, they do.
It's like Arizona being in Carolina's bracket.
They're waiting on
because
that
of Caleb
They're
Love.
waiting on that game.
The Love Bowl.
Buddy Love, the Love Man.
It's on the horizon. It's coming in about next weekend. Sometime.
Yeah, they'll be playing Michigan State in that game.
Brett's talking Sparty over here. You know I'm an Izzo fan. I always have
Yeah, I
been.
love Izzo.
like
But
that
how many
guy.
national titles has he won? One.
Yep. How many current coaches have national titles?
It's not many.
It's not. Hurley? Izzo?
That's still alive in the tournament? Or
Bill Self?
Yeah.
No. I mean, how many coaches in college basketball have won national
Scott
titles?
Drew.
'Cause a lot of them have retired. A lot of your,
Oh, yeah.
like you take away Roy and Krzyzewski.
It's a lot,
That's-
right?
And Jay Wright,
Right,
he won
Jay
2
Wright, yeah.
recent
Yeah,
ones.
I mean, I bet there's 8 or less current coaches. that have
Patino's
won.
one, but he's not in the tournament.
Calipari, if he's still
Yeah.
coach today.
2012 for Calipari, yeah.
North Texas Seton Hall. Man, I got no idea. I'm taking Seton
Well,
Hall
that's
because of
that's
the
an
conference.
NIT
You're
game.
talking about the NIT, man.
Because of the.
You're in the wrong tournament.
Hey, you skipped
Why does
one.
it do that?
You skipped Texas and Tennessee, I think.
Did
I
I?
don't remember you saying that.
Yeah, Battle of the Tees.
But I think Tennessee.
Which orange tea will win? Texas, Tennessee.
I'd say Tennessee with Rick Barnes, Hickory native. Heard him say something the other day.
I think Tennessee has more talent, but Texas is kind of on a roll.
Did you hear his comment? He was when he was growing up in Hickory. To impress a girl, he would take her all the way down to the open kitchen in Charlotte for dinner.
Good place.
Yeah.
Good place. Ate there several times myself.
Oh yeah, who didn't? I mean,
Yeah.
it was so popular.
Todd Cochran was reminding me the other day that of a lunch we had. Several of us guys got together and went down to Memorial Stadium, ate open kitchen, and went to a football game. And you'll never guess who we went to see play in that football game.
It wasn't a Shrine Bowl, was it?
Mm-mm.
Was it a college game?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Because I remember me and you going
Yeah.
to see Charles Briggs
Yeah,
play.
with Paul Haynes.
Yeah. And we went to Open Kitchen,
We
didn't
did. We did. Yep. Yep.
And Briggs was playing for Gardner Webb. Is that who
Yep.
it
This was the New Jersey Generals, and I think the Boston Breakers or whatever they were in the USFL. And the reason we went was because Charlotte had no pro football at the time. This was the chance to go see pro football.
Mm-hmm.
And those Generals, you know who their owner was?
No, I don't remember.
Yes, you do.
I do.
You know who their owner was. You know exactly who their.
George Steinbrenner.
No. More popular than that.
Oh, is he in the field of music?
No. Absolutely not. Tell them who it was. Come on, Lenny. Somebody tell me who the New Jersey Generals owner was.
What year was that? 80?
Probably
Was it in the
sometime
80s?
in the 80s there. Yep. Had a great running back on that squad. Walked out and talked to him on the field when the game was over. His name was Herschel something.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Herschel Walker.
Oh, that
Big time.
Walker.
Remember, he went USFL.
Yeah.
Played for your former president's team. Oh, my gosh.
Bush.
I just said New Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
New
going to
Jersey.
say, I don't think that
Think about it. Who is it? If it's New Jersey and
New
he's your
Jersey.
former president, there you go. I got 2 answers. I got 3 answers. Yeah, Donald Trump. That's not that hard.
Oh, Donald Trump. Okay.
Ned Yates, Lenny Anthony, Rodney Willis all said Trump was the owner of that team. He sure was.
That question trumped me for sure.
It did. It did.
Not my former president.
Huh?
I'm just kidding. I don't want to get into that.
Oh, I love it. That was good.
That was a good one.
Let's see. Where am I going here with? Why did my? Did we give? Okay, we still got to give the winners on Texas and Tennessee. That's the last one we got. And
I'm
then
going.
we'll go to the second half.
I'm
of the
going
bracket
UT.
after that.
I'm going UT.
Yeah, I
Tom,
bet you
Tennessee.
are. I bet you are.
Vols.
I think Tennessee wins. I think it's a good game. Might be one of the better games of the day or of the weekend. But I think Tennessee wins. I think they do. I think they're playing pretty good. And they got a lot of guys that were on the team last year. I don't know how far they went last year.
Well, they got to at least the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
They beat Duke in the second round.
Right. Yep. And I don't know what they did after that.
I
but
think they lost.
They had a pretty good team last year, and they got something to build on. We'll go through the second half tomorrow's schedule in a moment. But Brett gave us his lyrics, and after 72 hints, I got it with somebody got Billy Joel, and I got Vienna. And it's Mike's turn, but I'm going to read
yeah.
one more comment here.
They got so many options.
Oh, Butch is hammering you, Brett.
Ooh.
Before you guys shut down this morning, don't let the Dodgers brain trust hide behind the NCAA tournament concerning Ohtani. He says, get on him. We don't even know if Ohtani did anything. But
no, there's
him or his
there's a formal
interpreter
investigation now.
Yeah.
Is
so
okay, so we will find out.
Maybe.
Or, yeah, you never know. You never know. Will this affect his play on the field in any way?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
All he's doing is hitting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all he's doing.
All right, Mike, lay it on us.
Oh. Okay.
This will take 5 minutes.
You 5 lines.
5 lines?
Yeah.
Start out with 2.
Okay.
Start out with
If you can just get your mind together, then come across to me.
If you can just get your mind together,
then come across to me.
I can't tell what you're saying at the end of that sentence.
If you can just get your mind together, then come across to me.
Come across to me. Back in a moment.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See the page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Stop by Lowe's Home Improvement in Lincolnton for their great deals on items you use around the house. Need to update around the kitchen? Then shop a great selection of appliances and some up to 30% off retail prices. Buy Craftsman's 20-volt max battery and get your choice of matching Craftsman cordless tool free. Update your workshop area with a wide selection of shop tools, only $99 each. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Shop Lowe's in Lincolnton for the things you want to buy today.
Century Drug in Boger City is the first pharmacy in the area to offer peace of mind for you, your caregivers, and for your family with a convenient poly pouch, strip pouch system, just like the one you've seen on TV. No more sorting through and keeping up with your multiple bottles of medication. No more filling daily reminder boxes. No more calling in meds and worrying about refills. You'll receive all your medications once a month in a box that dispenses a convenient, easy-to-open strip pouch that is perfectly labeled for breakfast, lunch, bedtime, etc. Century will be the link between you and your doctor to assure you that your medication profile is up to date and refillable. In other words, Century Drug will do all the work. You just take your medications and be healthy and happy. Call or come by for a visit today. 704-735-2551. Century Drug, East Main Street in Lincolnton.
And welcome back to Sports Talk, or Famous Lyrics.
Famous Lyrics.
I don't know if these are famous, but
infamous
we got
would
some.
be the word.
We got some. We also got a guess. Give us those first two lines only again, Mike.
If you can just get your mind together and come across to me.
Well, Butch Parker has guessed. You want to know? You know any idea? I got the artist right.
I was going to wait for the next two lines.
Go ahead and throw the other two out there. Butch has an answer, and he might have got it with the initial clue.
We'll hold hands, and then we'll watch the sun rise from the bottom of the sea. But first...
And I guessed the artist
Yep.
of Jimi Hendrix, and he said, yes, that is correct.
That is correct.
Butch has guessed the song Experienced.
I'll give it to him. It's Are You Experienced?
Are You Experienced? Yeah. Okay. That's
Yep.
pretty
Are
close.
You Experienced?
Pretty close. Jimi Hendrix on the show, Billy Joel on the show, and mine was Eric Clapton. Had to think about my own there for a minute. Eric Clapton this morning.
See if you can get this.
You know what? We all went individuals.
Two great guitar
No
players and a great piano player.
Yeah.
In the same vein, here's one. One pill makes you larger and one pill makes you small.
Well, I guess this is more Hendrix.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no? Okay. Alanis Morissette?
Nope.
Sounds
This
like
is-
something she would.
This is 60s.
She would do.
And the one that Mother gives you.
Well, she might be in her 60s now.
Yeah, she's in her 80s. And the one that Mother gives you don't do anything at all.
Grace Slick, yeah.
Go ask Alice when
Yep,
she's
yep.
10 feet
Ned
tall.
says Grace Slick, too.
Well, okay, can you name the group of which she sang?
Starship.
For which she sang. Before
Jefferson
that,
Airplane.
Jefferson Airplane, that's right.
Yeah. Which
and then, which later became the start. Jefferson
Yep.
Starship, then
Yep.
Starship.
Saw them in concert one time.
Ah,
Yep.
excellent.
Yep.
Was Grace there?
Mm-mm.
No.
Afraid not.
Anyway, the song is White Rabbit.
White Rabbit.
Yep.
Yep. Sunday, March 24th. Games tomorrow. Colorado takes on Marquette. I just noticed. I wonder why I don't have the lines on these games. Jefferson Airplane says Lenny.
Yep.
I wonder why I don't have the lines on these games. Who's favored?
It's Marquette by 3.5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I like Marquette. I thought they struggled at times last night, but they came away with a win.
Mhm. They were down, weren't they, at the half?
Who coaches Marquette?
Shaka.
Yeah.
Shaka
Is that
Khan.
right?
Smart.
Shaka Khan.
Yep. Who coaches Colorado? I know it's not Dion.
Yeah.
Wrong
I don't
sport.
know.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I like Marquette in that game. Number 8, Utah State. Number 1, Purdue. First game's at 12:10 tomorrow. The second game is at 2:40. Very similar schedule as to what's today. All bottom loaded with all the games coming at night.
I'm going to have to go with Purdue.
Yeah, I like Purdue. Until proven otherwise, I may take Purdue in every game that they make it to. I mean, I'm not saying they'll win it, but
This might be the year they finally get to the promised land.
yeah, I love Don Revel's text he just sent me. Until you guys start doing Barry Manilow and Cher lyrics, I have nothing.
I said, okay, next week.
Yeah.
But you got to get the song.
If you have never seen the episode of The Simpsons, I think it's The Simpsons, isn't it, bro, where they do the Barry Manilow. There's a group of men in there going, Homer and his buddies, and they going in a bar, and they said they'll be in there, and they'll say, I hate Barry Manilow. And everybody will agree, I hate Barry Manilow. And all of a sudden, Barry Manilow's song, they'll all start crying and stuff, and they'll say, I love Barry Manilow. And it goes back and forth the whole show. I hate Barry Manilow. I love Barry Manilow. I thought that
Did he do Mandy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the song, I don't know.
Yeah, the song.
But yes, I'm guessing so, because the song would. Oh man, now I lost my place here. Colorado, Marquette, Utah, Purdue, Duke taking on James Madison. Can Duke make the Sweet 16 or no?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's a tough matchup.
James Madison looked pretty good.
Yeah, they're very physical. They play really tough defense.
Yep.
Duke has the talent, but
I did not do this in my bracket. I know I've got James Madison in my bracket, but I'll take Duke. I'll buck it. I'll take Duke.
I think I did have him getting to the Sweet 16.
Yeah. Filipowski's going to have to score more than 3, though.
Yeah, he's got to have more than 3 tonight. Tomorrow.
Clemson and Baylor. Lanny saying Baylor.
No confidence in his old school.
Well,
he can't go back to his old school.
One thing about Baylor, man, they can go cold.
Yeah, they got to be hitting.
But they are very athletic,
yeah.
and good shooters and
they have
high flyers.
They have the same kind of strong guard play they had when they won that a couple years ago.
Yep.
It looks like to me.
Yep, and that's almost like something that's like I can't even fully remember watching that game when Baylor won the national title. I don't know why, but it's just
they destroyed Gonzaga.
Yeah. Well, they destroyed everybody, and maybe not quite with the margin, but in their path year because they won 6 in a row.
They were about as dominant as UConn was last year winning.
Yep. I like Baylor to beat Clemson in that one. Grand Canyon and Alabama.
Now that's an interesting matchup.
That is. I didn't even realize they were playing each other.
I tell you what, I'm going Grand Canyon.
I am too.
I was so impressed the way they beat down St. Mary's.
Yep. And the way the SEC's looked and the amount of points SEC teams are giving up, I could see Grand Canyon.
Alabama is first in the country in points per game and
first in the country in points allowed.
Boy, yeah.
Grand Canyon is 11th in defensive rating.
So something's got to give.
Alabama is 304th in defensive rating.
Yeah.
I don't even know who all that is.
I have not even laid eyes on Grand Canyon. I have no idea who plays for them, what they look like, or anything.
Well, I didn't know anybody on their team either.
But just knowing the amount of points Alabama gives up, that's going to catch up with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to catch up with them. I'll go Grand Canyon.
Tyon Grant Foster is their best player. He's a big guard. He plays like a guard. I don't know what he's considered. Averages 20.6 rebounds.
Yeah.
But he's their main guy.
They're good defensively.
He had 22 last night against.
They must have had
St.
10
Mary's.
or 12 blocked shots against St. Mary's.
Lenny says Tad Boyle is the coach at Colorado.
Oh yeah.
He said I'm showing my age. He played at Kansas. So all right, Brett, you're the only one that didn't pick a team there.
I don't think I've picked any of these so far. I'll go with Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure you picked Baylor.
Baylor.
I don't know if you said anything
Purdue,
about James
Marquette.
Madison and Duke.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I'll go.
Who wins, Duke or the Dukes?
Yeah, and you got the Duquesne, Duke.
And the Duquesne, yeah. Duquesne. Love it. Let's see. Northwestern and UConn. I think it'll be unanimous here to go with the Huskies to Northwestern. I think
good story.
Yep. I think what's his name?
Chris Carter.
Collins
has done a pretty good job.
Not coaching basketball.
No.
Chris Collins, though. I think he's done a good job. I just don't think they are nearly athletic enough to hang with UConn.
They're not. No. He does a good job, but he has difficulty getting players in. I
wonder why he hadn't landed somewhere else. He's been there quite a while now.
He has,
and I would guess that he's had some offers. Maybe he likes it where he is. I don't know.
Could be.
Number 9, Texas A&M taking on number 1, Houston. This could be one of the better matchups, I think.
Because A&M had, 98 points? They really...
It was 58 in the first half.
58 in the first
I thought they'd blow 100 out of the water, but they didn't.
I'll go Houston by
I'm still going to go with Houston, too, because A&M is another one of those SEC teams that gives up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So I'll take Houston as well. Mike?
I'm going to go Houston.
Yale versus San Diego State.
Well, I'm going Yale because I just love the way they play basketball. Cerebral, run a lot of sets.
I'm going San Diego State because I want Yale to win.
Okay.
I don't care who wins, but, I'm going San Diego State.
Yep. Indiana State
Yeah, you're back to the NIT.
Yeah, I am.
NIT.
Okay, so that's all of them. Thank you. I didn't miss any that time, did I? I thought, man, Larry Bird.
Indiana State should have been in the NCAAs from what everybody says.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion about somebody. Earn your way. Get your way there, you know?
Yeah.
I mean.
Do you get tired of hearing that kind of crying right before the tournament?
I wouldn't call it crying. No, I don't. Hey, a coach is standing up for their team.
Yeah, the big one is.
If a coach stands up for his team and thinks they ought to be in, but keep it classy. You know what I mean? Don't rip the committee because they got a job doing. And guess what? Just like your team don't win every game, they're not going to get every single thing right that should be in and shouldn't. But they have to pick. You know what I mean?
I think everybody agrees. Probably didn't feel like that at the time, but Virginia was not a trendy pick to make the field, even the first. I wonder
what got Virginia in. What was the?
I don't know.
I would have took Pitt over Virginia.
They were trending way down.
Wouldn't you guys have took
I
Pitt
think
over
it's
Virginia?
that they finished third in the regular season.
Yeah.
I think
12-8.
Well, to me, I'll be honest, that should go a long way because I'm more of a regular season guy than I am a tournament guy when it comes to getting bids.
Yeah, that's
you know, that's the long haul. That's the long haul.
But look, you look at their games, David, and there was 5 or 6 games. They just got blown completely out of the water.
Yeah.
Losing games by 30, 25.
Wonder how many they could score on Alabama.
Well, that might be the one time they could crack 60. Maybe 70.
Yeah, beat 120 to 60. Yeah, I mean, the teams that Virginia plays defense.
Yeah, they play defense, but boy.
Who was going to rebound quicker, Virginia or Kentucky? Which one will make the Final Four?
Go at Kentucky
first.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
At least he gets great talent. I mean, maybe he'll roll the dice and the freshmen will play like seniors in a tournament. But
what are we missing about Virginia? Why is Virginia not bring scorers in?
Because Tony Bennett's still living in a college game that was 25, 30 years ago.
And he's won a national title doing it, though, Mike. I mean, Virginia never won a national title till he arrived.
Oh, he's a good coach.
He's also won 2 ACC tournaments, and they'd only won 1 in the history of the university, and that's when they were a 7 seed.
Yeah, it's hard to criticize a guy who won a national title.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But
they had 2 great shooters on that team.
That's right.
If you were a high school player and you're averaging 28 points a game, would you sign with Virginia?
No, and their brand of basketball is boring.
You know,
I mean, win's a win, but now we want.
I would love to hear their fan base true opinions.
I would too.
You know,
I'd like to know
what the fan base's true opinions
Cab
are.
Nation. What are they really thinking about Virginia's style of play? Oh, I got one more for you before we go. Didn't get this one.
What are you waiting on?
You need cooling, baby. I'm not fooling. I'm going to take you.
That's Led Zeppelin.
That is Led Zeppelin. Yep.
Whole lot of love.
Yep.
You got it. You got it.
Yep. Great first line, though.
Yeah.
Lenny says, did you see the quote on the TV the other day? The Battle of the S.
Battle of the S.
Maybe it's, I think it's the Battle of the Silent S. I think he left that out. So if it's the Battle of the Silent S, who is it? We're in the Sweet 16. There's not that many games. We're trying to get to the Sweet 16.
Illinois and somebody.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Duquesne.
Duquesne.
Illinois and Duquesne. So I think you meant the Battle of the Silent S.
Yes, Silent S.
There. Duquesne and Illinois. So now next time we meet, we'll have 8 teams left.
Yeah.
We'll be down to 8 when we're back in here next Saturday.
Mm-hmm. The Elite 8.
Who's a lock? Who will we be talking about next Saturday? Who's a lock to be in the
UConn?
I think UConn. Who is UConn's stiffest?
Iowa State, probably.
But that would be at the end, right? That would be for a Final Four.
Yeah,
so
they got to beat Northwestern and then the winner San Diego State and Yale.
Yeah, I like UConn to do that, to do both of those.
And then
Houston's in the South.
While you're on there, Brett, tell me who the other side is of that same bracket.
Duquesne, Illinois, Washington State, Iowa State.
I'll take Iowa State there.
Yeah.
Now they may lay an egg somewhere, but
I think I might go Illinois.
I'll take Iowa State.
Yeah, Illinois is.
Give us the next. Give us the next group.
All right, Carolina, Michigan State, Grand Canyon, Alabama.
You're kidding. That's a cakewalk, Carolina.
Cakewalk for Carolina.
I mean, honestly, Michigan State will be tougher than the next one.
Than the next one.
Yeah, probably so. Then the other side's got Clemson, Baylor, Dayton, Arizona.
Clemson, Baylor, Dayton. After what I've seen, I want to take Baylor over Arizona.
I do too. That's what I'm thinking. Baylor over Arizona.
God, that will be one heck of a basketball game if those two meet.
Baylor's best player is a freshman.
Is he? I'm gonna go Arizona.
I'm going Baylor.
Brett, you picking?
I'll go Arizona.
What we got left?
Houston, Texas A&M, James Madison, and Duke.
Houston.
I think we'd all go Houston out of those four.
Yeah,
but I think Houston. I may be wrong. I think Houston will be playing Duke for that spot. For some reason, I think Duke will beat
and then
James Madison. Yeah.
NC State, Oakland, Colorado, Marquette, and that's an 11, a 14, a 10.
Are you kidding me? One of them is going to be in the Final Four or in the Final Eight.
In Elite Eight,
in the Elite Eight. Oakland, Marquette, NC State,
and Colorado.
One of them is going to be in the Elite Eight.
I'm going to go with NC State.
Me too.
Oakland,
I don't know, man.
NC
It's the
Colorado.
Marquette does have really good
I go
guards.
with Marquette. I go with Marquette.
I'm going State. It's the
Eight.
Cardiac Pack revisited, 1983. Jim Valvano.
And then Houston.
Terry Reinhardt hadn't texted me in 5 years, and he sent me a text last week. I'm going Marquette.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then the last one, Purdue, Utah State, Gonzaga, Kansas.
Purdue, Utah State, Gonzaga.
I'm going
Purdue.
Yeah, I'm going
Zach
Purdue.
Edey, baby.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah,
Purdue
me too.
in that. Although, I think it'll be Gonzaga. What are the matchups? Purdue plays
Utah State.
Yeah.
Gonzaga plays Kansas.
I think Gonzaga beats Kansas in that round.
That should be a good one.
Yeah. Kansas is just.
That's today at 3:15.
Hey, what did they win by the other night? Maybe 5?
Kansas, they were real lucky.
And there was
to
a
win.
block that
Yeah.
they called a foul. You talking about, plays that bad calls and stuff? That's probably the worst one of the tournament so far. And what was the lead when that happened?
1.
And they called a foul. And why can't they review that? I mean, I know they don't want everything reviewed, but do you not want the plays to be called right? Is it more important to be right and you set another minute? Or
I agree.
What
did you guys think of the flagrant 2 against the Auburn player? Justified?
I didn't see it. I wasn't watching it yet.
Yeah.
He sort of lined him up and elbowed him as they were coming back up the court.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like Brett. I didn't see it. I heard about it and all that kind of stuff. You know what? They get to watch it on review. Mm-hmm. They do get to review that, watch replay and everything. So I can't argue. If you can watch it on, And they're trying to take a lot of stuff out of the game where I saw a guy last night just pull down a player. He wasn't trying to block his shot or anything, and he got the flagrant whatever, and a technical or something, because you have to be trying to steal the basketball, block the basketball or something. You just can't pull a guy to the ground, which is good because most time they're not hurting them, but there is an opportunity there for them to be injured whenever you just pull them to the ground. I mean, that's easy way to. Who was the guy last night hyperextended his knee on the last play of the game?
Somebody for Vermont.
Oh, that just looked like that hurt.
Hopefully that's all it was hyperextended, but that could have been an ACL.
I hope it scared him more than it hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
we've all been there before. Hopefully it scared him
Butch
more than it
is in the house.
actually hurt him. He coming in here with his Cardinals hat on. Speaking of scandals, we're going to wrap it up. Hey, thanks for everybody for tuning in this morning. Thanks for the lyrics. I always enjoy that. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. For Brett and Mike, I'm David. See you next week on Sports Talk.